It's Saturday afternoon at the NEC, and we're here on Andy Saunders and Maxime's stand, and we're going to speak to Maxime Xavier. Good afternoon.
Hello. Welcome to the NEC and my lovely car, Sundancer.
And Sundancer. Now, Sundancer it was at some point a 1977 Buick
Regal.
Buick Regal, and the only reason anybody knows of Buick Regal from the 70s is because of Kojak. However, this one, I think, is going to be a touch different. So, having looked around it, it is entirely candied. Am I correct?
That's right, and we think it's the only one where it has a mural and the whole car is candy. You often see the sides candid, but you don't see a mural. So her skin and her face and everything else is all candy as well. Even her eyes are gold and they glitter. So
I mean, we're under not the most flattering of lights in here because we're in the NEC.
That's what I think, because I'm much nicer looking in better light.
Me too. Oh yeah, I'll lose 2 stone in the daylight. But it's not doing a bad job of showing off all the metal flakes.
It's not too bad, is it?
But so this is, I mean, to look at it, you'd think you've been doing this for years, but not the case.
Well,
airbrushing. I know you've been an artist.
The way I look at it, though, is I have been doing it for years. It's just changing the utensils. In other words, instead of using a paintbrush, I'm using an airbrush. So to me, it's no different. I mean, lots of people that do airbrush go, oh, you know, you've only been doing it like 8 years, I think it is now, or something. And I go, no, it's like I've been doing it all my life, but it's just changing the brush. I mean, I've always been able to adapt to whatever I do. I used to do murals on ceiling, pargeting, which is plaster relief. I can do it. You know, I've got a very logical sort of brain, and I can do that kind of thing. So the airbrush was a piece of, I nearly said piss then, but I won't. It was just dead easy. So, and it's just a different paints. They took a little bit used to not the spraying, but just the mixing of colour, because they mix differently to, say, oil paint or watercolour, which they all mix different anyway. All those mediums mix differently. So this is a different again, because the whole car was sprayed in metal flake silver, so your base is silver.
So you sprayed it in metal flake, or is that how it came?
I got Mike Wareham. He did the whole car in silver metal flake.
Oh, and that was your base.
Yeah, that was the base.
Right.
Entirely silver. So where you see, I've put the anything you see like these masking tape around here, around there. Once they're on, they stay on for the duration of the whole procedure.
Oh.
And right at the end, when they come off, you go back to go.
So that's the base colour then?
That's the base colour is the silver.
Okay.
So candy works by, it's a transparent paint. So say I was painting this area here, what I'd do is I'd be painting, everything's masked off, by the way. When you work in an area, you have to mask off.
How many acres of masking tape did you use?
Oh, God.
Your local paint shop must love you.
Yeah, loads. Andy was forever bringing, I'm going, I'm running out of 1/8, I'm running out of this, and he'd come back with a box of it. And I had tape all over me. And it was really funny. I know I'm digressing, but this is just so funny. When he's working on Deja, I'm working on this. We're both covered in grime and whatever, and he comes with his hair looking like Wurzel Gummidge. I've had a mask on all day, so I've got like indentations across my face in red. Where he lives, he's got these electric gates that open, and it looks as a nice looking house. So we walk out, and it's like 2 tramps walking out, covered in stuff, and we walk the dog. So that happened every evening, sometimes in the dark, because I was working at the end till 10 in the morning to 10 at night. I was working 12-hour day to get it finished. So, but anyway, I digress.
Sorry, you were telling us about these.
Yeah, so if I wanted to paint this area, everything would be masked off, everything, and literally everything.
Yeah.
And you'd get a pale yellow, because you start with your light colour first and work dark. So you'd work with pale yellow, and you'd paint that whole section there be pale yellow. Then you'd change your colour and go a little bit stronger, and you'd paint this edge there, but you wouldn't paint that there. You don't have to mask it. If you mask it, you get a hard line. So you want it to fizzle, fade. So you'd bring your airbrush further over here, but because you've got mask here, you can paint that, because that's not going to harm anything. So you can kind of stay away from there. So your spray would be like that. So you'd spray like that, and then like that, and then it would go darker.
Yeah.
And then you'd add a bit of orange, and then gradually do that. It might be probably 3 or 4 times you do it to get the right colours. But that's the basic understanding of it. And then you've got to think about, she's a Sundancer, the sun's coming from her, so your shadows are on this side, and the sun's hitting this side and this side. So that's my art eye then, coming in saying I need this darker here, I need it darker here, because the sun rays coming here, so it's going in shadow that side. So you use more colour around here.
So just in case anybody missed it, the car is called Sundancer.
The car is called Sundancer, yeah.
And that's this young lady here.
She is the Sundancer.
So bear with me if I can get above. So you can see the radiation out from her.
So that's the gold leaf coming out with the hand engine turning on it, which comes out and runs down the side of the car as well.
Yeah, because, wow. And that is actually gold leaf as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gold leaf. So you can get her eyes. Her eyes are amazing.
Oh, let's see if I can, hold on.
Give it a rattle. Don't move.
And, as you say, the murals are painted in candy as well.
Yeah.
Is there anything on this car that isn't candy?
Apart from the gold leaf, no.
Of course.
Completely candy. Candy.
How many coats of lacquer?
I think he did 12, I believe.
Good. I mean,
He has a bit of burying to do. He's had a few lumps here and there.
Because it looks like it's still wet.
It does.
I mean, it
That's
looks
my
like
polishing.
that is. I mean, nobody will touch it because I think
It is
stuff.
I've seen them.
I hope you're chasing them off with a stick.
I've got an electric thing here, and I'll put it on the end so the whole car becomes electric.
And I mean, there's another fantastic mural on the roof, and you were telling me
how difficult that was, because I'm not very tall, and this is on hydraulics. The whole car's lowered at the moment, so the actual roof was this high, and I couldn't actually. I had to lean on the corner bit here, and lean across like this with my airbrush to get that. So I never actually saw that complete until I was on the balcony looking down at the car. It's the first time I'd seen it finished. So I sort of kind of hoped this right. He's got the little hot rod moustache, you know.
Yeah.
He's got that, and he's really like a bit cheeky, evil looking, isn't he? He's a bit sinister.
Definitely, yeah.
And he's got his tongue sticking out. And that's gold leaf on here as well. All those little bits of gold leaf. So you've got the metal plate here. This is like a lovely gold leaf, but it's like a variegated gold leaf.
Yeah.
And you've got it there as well. It's on the side of the car as well. That's
No,
really
I mean,
lovely.
that looks like an old sort of snakeskin pattern in there.
Yeah. Hence why I got the suit to match.
Aha. Oh,
You've got to see the suit, man.
I thought you were just going for the sun glittery.
Well, that as well. I
yeah,
think I killed two birds with one stone when I got this. So I got these lovely handles. I found those on eBay. I think they're ashtrays.
Oh, right.
If you put them that way up, I think the cigarette went there through her backside and the ash dropped in there.
Like a snooker rest.
No, snooker rest, snooker queue rest. And they were jet black. They painted with thick black, like bitumen paint. So I got a drill thing with a drill head on it. I drilled it all off and got it all back to different colours of brass, then varnished it so it won't tarnish. So in places she'll go to a different colour, but these will stay as they are.
Right. So she will go a different colour, but the hat won't.
The hat won't, because I varnished that.
Yeah.
I varnished her cosy, I can't remember which way I did now. I over varnished her skin. I might have varnished her skin, I think, so that stays that light colour. So as it oxidises, they go darker.
Wow. And I mean, the whole thing, the aim, because you got the Dayton wires here, hydraulic suspensions, side pipes.
Yeah.
Those shoes are fantastic.
Thank you. Yeah. Hey man, look at those. Raven hydraulics.
Yeah. And what did you set out to do? 'Cause, I mean, with a car this sort of square, that's a lot of lovely flat panels to work on.
But that's it. I've been looking for a while for a car to do, and I kept coming to the Impalas, but they were quite few and far between and expensive.
Yeah,
so,
and been done, I'd say. Not the way you do it,
yeah,
but...
well, I was going to say, it wouldn't have come out like anyone's done before. This is the difference, because I've got a different eye, obviously. You know.
Oh, definitely.
But I do my own thing. You know, people will either like it in the car world or they won't. I don't, you know. It's up to the viewer to decide if they like or not. And that's the Naughty Nun, which is the tattoo that's come to life from her thigh. Who was hoping to see some action.
Yes.
And she obviously has, because she's got her cloak stuck in the boot.
Make a wish.
And it's come off and it says make a wish. So if you rub that, you can make a wish.
On the other hand, if anybody around here rubs that, I'm going to stick one on them.
I don't mind. But yeah, and that's gold leaf again.
So what was the... It is just something you wanted to do, go for an absolutely over-the-top candy Chicano style paint? Exactly.
Because I love stuff. I've always loved things like this. I do, how I dress. I if it's sparkly and glittery, over the top, it's mine.
Right. Okay.
So the car is like an extension. But so I did look at quite a few, and every now and then I'd find another one and show it to Andy. So what do you think about this one? He'd go, no, it's not the right thing, or not this, or not that. So he gave me some advice on that side of it. And but I wanted like a 60s, 70s car. So, and then this came up on eBay. So it's just plain blue. It came over from, in the 77, I think I said tonight. It came over to England in 77 to the American Air Base here.
Right, okay.
He had that for years, whoever he was. And then it just got another owner for a little while, and then another owner for a very short while that I bought it from. So the paintwork wasn't too bad. It's original paintwork. And we wanted something with original paintwork so we could see if there's anything evil underneath that was going to bubble through.
An honest car.
Yeah, an honest car.
Yeah.
And there were a few little nicks, not much on it, so Andy did those. It had a vinyl roof that Andy took off, and it had a few little holes around the window where the damp had got in under the vinyl. So he fixed those for me. And then we primed it, and I had to go at priming it as well. We did all that. Don't pull that. Don't pull the handle. Thank you. That kid there was just going to pull the handle off. Children are lovely, aren't they?
Bless them.
Anyway, so after we did that, it then went away to be metal flaked. So Mike Wareham did the metal flake, did a fabulous job on it. And then I got it back, and we had to rub it down again, so it was just grey. So it's got a key for me to paint on, so the paint can actually stick on properly. And then I started with the Sundancer on the bonnet was the start, and that.
That was the start. Okay, right.
I've always got this principle with painting, any painting, that you should always start in the place that's the most important, because that's where all your energy is.
Right.
That's where you're the most energized, eager, and all that goes into that first picture. So I took a template of the bonnet in cardboard, then put polythene all over it, and sketched with a pen that you can rub off because it's water-based pen.
Right.
So I could have I've got the shape of the bonnet in front of me while this is being metal flaked. So I've got like a sort of bit of the car. And I drew out her first of all because I wanted to get the positioning of her and the size that she needs to be to make an impression on the bonnet. Then after that, I worked out the background on the bonnet. And then from there, I made it up as I went along.
Made it up as you went along.
Yeah, because I knew these.
To anybody who's ever experimented with airbrushing or any custom paint, this is what happens when you make it up as you go along, apparently.
This was quite a pig to do. It was incredible. That's like it's called like frosty fluid or something. Yeah. And you paint it on, but because this is standing upright, when you paint it on, it can run down. I did that first of all, and there's a procedure you have to do with it. It's a bit fiddly. And it went perfect, and I thought, this is great. So I did that one, then came to the one at the back there. Yeah. Would it go? No.
Oh, would you look completely different?
It kept crystallizing in a different shape and smaller, and it just wouldn't do it. And in the end, I worked out the temperature of the room. So I got the thermometer out, and I had a thermometer in the garage and made it up to the same temperature that I did all the ones all the way around. So they have the same temperature.
So localized temperature differences made that much?
I think it did. It did. But you go on YouTube. This is probably YouTube. YouTube will show you the highlights of everything. They'll show you, this is how I do this. I spray it along here, and it's perfect.
Anything's easy if you've got an editing suite.
Exactly. So it's like at the Super Nationals. I did a demonstration at the Super Nationals. I did an airbrush demonstration. Yeah. And it's probably the hottest day of the year.
Of course.
Too was there. He couldn't do pinstriping because the paint dried on his brush.
Wow.
And I had the same problem. I had 3 airbrushes. I threw in the night before because I didn't have time to do much. Mike Wareham, bless him, he primed this bonnet I'd got, the boot lid, sorry. He primed it for me, so he just took it to the show. and I did like a little mural. It's their 50 years anniversary.
Yeah, of course.
So
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
a big 50 with a hot rod coming out of the zero and a sky at night with planets.
Yeah.
It took me 7 hours.
Wow.
And so I did that in a day. The first airbrush, I said to everyone that's standing around, I said, if, you know, this heat could affect my airbrush, then it might not work because the paint is acrylic paint and it might just dry because acrylic paint dries fast anyway. Did the first one, it went like that. I said, right, that's one brush gone, chuck that away. Got the next one, made my paint thinner so that it's not so, you know, it's a bit more watery. Did that, went again. I said, right, everyone, we have one brush left. I want you all to pray because if this brush dies, there's no demo. And so one chap said, can I do it in Italian? I said, I'd love that. So we went, Sancta, Sancta, make a brush, it worked. And everyone prayed.
That's
and I
more
did
Super
it.
Mario.
Yeah. So we did. I did it anyway, and it worked. It limped through. I had gold leaf on it, but it was so windy that it had the provenance of the Super Nationals on the actual boot lid because there's grit all over it. So, so it didn't matter how much I rubbed it off. When I put the gold leaf on, all I could feel was this grain underneath the gold leaf. So I said,
the textured finish.
Yeah, I can't engine turn it, I'm afraid, because it's like all pimpled, you know. But it's got gold leaf on it. And then they auctioned it off, and the money went to the air ambulance.
Oh, fantastic!
So that was great. But so that was good. But what was nice was the people said, it's so good to see you struggle. Because when we go on, they all had airbrushes, all these people watching, obviously. They said, they show us on YouTube how to do it. They don't show it when it goes wrong.
Nope.
And they said, to see you have to sort of alter this, change that,
that's it.
Fiddle with this and whatever. So they said that was really informative. So that was great.
That was brilliant. I mean, there's so many different finishes on this car.
Yeah.
Like you say, that was called your frost.
Yeah,
frost fluid, you said?
Yeah, frost fluid or something.
And down here we got more of the other side of the stripe.
Yeah, this is like gold. This is gold leaf. This is gold leaf, and that's the actual gold leaf, and that's a kind of foil gold leaf that has a variegated thing on it. I'm not sure how it's done. I think it's done with probably some kind of acid on the thing and colour. But it's lovely, isn't it? Lovely finish.
Well, there's not one part of this that isn't breathtaking.
Thank you. And I've got a dope leaf on the top corner, which when I did the curtaining, I cut out a dope leaf in curtain material to put that on each corner.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, because you said this is your traditional netting.
Yeah.
And
it's a nice frame. It finishes off the top, doesn't it?
Absolutely,
Before it comes down.
yeah. Can we have a look inside?
Yes, of course.
Oh, hold on. The Madonna in the seashell.
Yeah. And look up at the roof as well.
Oh, no, you got your on theme, on brand steering wheel.
That's dropped down a bit because someone had to go at the steering wheel and it kind of come down. But it's great for doing the lipstick.
Wow. Oh, wow.
That's awesome, man.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd rather shit at this
Drive electric, I'd rather shit thistles.
Oh, wow. So you've got your proper deep buttoning here as well?
Yeah.
Are these actually the original seat frames?
Yes, they are. So that's all been done there, so that's nice. And I covered the hydraulic box to make that match. And the cable I put gold round.
Oops.
There's actually more I want to do with it, but we ran out of time. I mean, I was doing the last 2 or 3 months, I was doing a 12-hour day, 10 in the morning to 10 at night to get it finished for the Super Nationals.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that was the debut of the car, wasn't it? That was beginning of August?
I literally finished it the day before, then I had to throw all the stuff in to do the
demonstration.
Take on more than you can do.
Unbelievable. Well, this is absolutely fantastic work. And,
Thank
hold
you.
on, you can just pan around some of the crowd who are stunned.
We've had so many people around this Andy's cars and my car have attracted so many. Yeah, I did inside as well.
I noticed the door jams. Sorry. Not an inch wasted.
I do want to do on it next is engraving on the bumpers.
On the bumpers?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were going to say on the glass.
I don't know how to do it, but I did used to do engraving on glass.
Yeah.
So I kind of think Can't be that different, can it?
How hard can it be?
I throw myself. I just do. I do. I've always done it because I used to teach art a little bit. I used to teach art 1 day a week purely because everyone nags me to teach them. I don't want to teach, but people I teach have been with me like 15 years, so they're friends. And you know, I learned by watching other people that lots of people stop themselves from doing things because they get this little voice in their head goes, what if it goes wrong? What if this? What and that? And then in the end, they talk themselves out of doing it.
I'm the same, but I mean, you've got
a
100% more chance of achieving something if you try doing it than if you don't.
Yeah, so that's it. It's like that's what I think. I think throw yourself in and claw your way out.
I'm having that. That's a damn good philosophy.
That's the best way to do it. So that's my philosophy. So it's
brilliant.
So this was all blue. The interior was blue.
Oh, it was
blue. Yeah, everything was blue.
Right, okay.
Carpet was blue. I had to dye the carpet. That was great fun. Walked around with dyed hands and dyed nails. I can never get the door shut. This will not shut. No, can't do it. It will shut, but
oh no, I was just thinking if it's anything like the panel drop, the door drop on my old cars.
It will do it.
Petrified of these two touching.
I know, it's great, isn't it? That reminds me of the do you remember that on the South Bank show?
Yes.
Where God and Adam's fingers touch
your T-shirt could not sum up things better. I cannot fault you.
Thank you very much.
That's the second person. Do you want to just stand here?
Well, I was going to say, do you want to wear this T-shirt?
I'd love it. I'd love it. Where'd you get it?
I made it.
Did you? Can you do some more?
I think, well, judging by the number of people who said I like that, I think I might do, yeah.
Do some more, because Andy would wear that as well. I'd have one. I'd love it.
So anyway, I've kept you yapping now for 22 minutes. So I will say thank you ever so much for showing us around.
Did you see that one?
The little one. Well, I was going to say that is the 1 to 4 or 5 scale model of the actual pop that we had it in Street Machine, didn't we?
Yeah, and it won the best pop at the Super Nationals 2019.
Oh, just before everything closed down and went to hell.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right. So that was.
I like the trouser suit. Did he?
Yes.
This is Edward.
Hello. Nice to meet you. We're just doing a little thing here.
I was going to say, I'll finish up and let you
okay.
talk. So.
I was going to say if you wanted to do a bit on that. Yeah, okay. Oh. That was because Angelina Icon was the big one, so that's Angelina Baby.
Right.
And it's good. Do you remember the film American Graffiti?
Yes.
Remember the chap that used to drive with his T-shirt rolled up with
a packet of fags in there?
Well, I've got my dog round there.
Oh, right, yeah.
I'll contact you.
I was going to say this actually, you did the 1-to-1 scale car first, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. The first one was done, the big one, sorry. So this actually was harder to paint than the original because it was so small. So that's my dog. That's my dog, Diva. So in American Graffiti, the chap who used to sit with his cigarette outside had a fags up there with camel on it. She's got it with dog written on it. But this was, and some of it, when you look at it on a photograph, I have to look at the background to see which car it is. If it's got my easel in the background, it's that. If it's got a real tree in the field, it's the other one.
For scale.
So, and the lights. So you got.
Oh yeah.
There you go. You've got the little goldfish. That bulb's gone on that one, I think. Something's happened to it. There you go.
Fantastic. And so, like I say, you've got Tetanus here and Deja on the other side.
Isn't that stunning? You've new one.
I haven't had a good look around it yet. I'm about to do
you'll have to, yeah.
Oh, well, there's a bit of space for look at that car and the whole. But you must be busy every minute of the day at this place.
I tell you, it's so lovely. I didn't realise how well this is going to be taken by everyone, and also very interesting. There's been a few people that have lived in America or American, and they've actually said this is better than what's over there. And I know that's not true because I've seen some fabulous stuff over there, but they're just saying this is you know, as good and if not better than a lot of the low riders over
High
there.
praise indeed.
So
Because
that was because I actually wondered what Americans will think of it and look at it and go, oh, you know. But they've said no, it's up there with the ones the best up over there.
Wow.
They placed it with the good ones over there. As I say, it's not better because there's some fabulous work out there.
well, when you see some of their car shows and the winners have got 7 or 8 figures in them,
Yes.
you've got to figure that they're taking it a bit too seriously, I think.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whereas, okay, total number of hours in that.
Well, that's
that
about
paint
9
job.
months of painting. The last 3 months were 12-hour days. So whatever that
There
is.
you go.
Whatever that is.
So
My maths is not very good. But I got very ill at the end of it and told that I had to go in the hospital. And I said, no, I've got to get it finished.
Oh wow!
So
Well, not as a result of this, I hope.
I think it was a bit. I think it was a bit of the fumes and stuff got to me somehow. I don't know what happened, but I wasn't well. He thought I was going to die.
Oh lordy!
And they wanted to keep me in, and I said, no, I'm not staying in. I've got a car to finish.
I haven't got time to die.
Yeah, I've got time to die. I've got to do a car,
Yeah.
for heaven's sake. So I had to sleep sitting up because I couldn't breathe.
Oh, hell!
So,
that does sound like
Yeah, it was. It was pretty bad.
fumes.
So, and I was on this amazing amount of antibiotics. I can't believe. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I still cracked on and got it finished. So that was good.
Brilliant. Well, I'm so glad you did, and thank you ever so much for showing us around it.
It's an absolute pleasure and lovely to see you again.
And you, Maxime. Thank you very, very much. Maxime Xavier.
Thank you.